Components of breathing. First, I'd like to show you a picture of the respiratory system. Very important, you have the diaphragm that rests under your lungs. You have your lungs. You have your trachea, your larynx, your vocal cords. And then, of course, you have your exit points, which is your mouth and your nose. As in speech classes, we often talk about aspects of delivery, vocalizing, things like this, but we often miss out a very important part, which is breathing. Today, I would like to cover a few components of breathing, and you can remember this mnemonic, PIM. Posture, initial air intake, and your mouth position. I first learned this by reading an article some time ago from a Whitman College student named Karen Axel, and I'd like to share this with you today. Alright, first of all, you want to have an upright posture. You want to imagine as if there is a line going from the center of your feet all the way up to the ceiling, through your spine, keeping you straight. Also, you could imagine having a string that goes from your head, pulling from your head to the ceiling, that helps to elongate your body. This will help you have an upright posture. Then, that initial air intake. You want to take a deep breath initially. This helps to have your body have the memory so that when you're giving your speech, it's going to always want to try to get that same type of breath that you first gave on your initial air intake. And then your mouth position. You don't want to have your head down. Remember that your air is in your lungs. You don't want to have your mouth down or your head too far up, because you're going to be trapping or forcing the air to come out, and it won't be as natural, or you can't get the most air to come out naturally. Okay, we want to open our chest. We want to give our lungs the most room to work. So what I like to say is to take your shoulders and pin them back. All right? Almost imagine as if your shoulder blades wanted to touch in the back. Another step is we want to lift our chest. Some call it boobs up. Excuse me, it's not my words, but that's what some call it. And then, very important, your neck and your throat. Your head, neck, and throat. You don't want to have it you're in a stiff position because of nerves or what have you. You want to be relaxed and have your head at a nice even level. The body is made like this so it can allow out the most air that you can. Now that you've learned how to get the maximum amount of air out, now let's change it and see how we can get the maximum air intake. Now, I can't show you properly, but imagine that you're laying flat on the ground. Put your hands on your waist, pointing towards your belly button. If you have a stomach as big as mine, it's a little harder. And then I want you to take a slow breath in, filling air first of all in your stomach and then up to your chest. It should take about 5 seconds or so. Go slowly. You should feel not only your stomach rising, but on your sides and your back as well. You want to try to practice this. This is going to help you feel the feeling that it feels like when you're taking in breath correctly from your stomach, or what I like to say is your diaphragm to your lungs. Practice this 3 or 4 times a day. You can do it when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed at night. But it's very important to get it in your mind to where it's natural, to where you don't have to think about it. Also, you have your jaw. You want to make sure that we have this exercise that we'll try now. Put your mouth in a position of saying E. It's like you're trying to touch the sides of your mouth to your ears. Okay? Now take a deep breath in. Oh, you hear that noise. Okay, it's very important when you're breathing, you don't want to have any breathing sounds coming out. Now, I'm from a Baptist church, and I don't know where they got this from, but a lot of times the old preachers, they would go, "We love the Lord." You don't want to have that breathing sound, okay? So let's try another way of positioning our mouth. Say, put it in the position of O. Automatically, when you do that, your jaw drops, your tongue drops deeper, and your mouth goes into an O shape, which will automatically take away any chance of having that high breathing sound, which is very good. Now, of course, when you practice this, you'll be able to, you'll be conscious that you won't have any breathing sounds. And let's see. Now that you know how to breathe properly, I'd just like to refresh again. Remember PIM, your position, you want it right over your feet, your shoulders right over your feet. Your initial intake, take a deep, slow breath. This will help you take less breaths while you're giving your speech and being able to get more of your words out before having to take another breath. And then your mouth position, making sure that you're got it in the optimum position so you can get the most air out. We talked about your shoulders being back, relaxing your jaw, your tongue down, and not making the hiss sound. Just with these few basic steps, I know that you'll be much more relaxed, and you'll after practicing your breathing technique will be just great.